Chapter 4. A Present from a Stranger. I desperately wanted to be accepted by Estella. I realized I could never become well educated just by attending old Mrs. Wopsle's evening school. So I asked Mr. Wopsle's cousin Biddy to teach me everything she knew. She helped me as much as she could, but I knew it would take a long time to reach Estella's level. One evening I went to fetch Joe from the village pub, where my sister sometimes allowed him to smoke his pipe and have a beer. Mr. Wopsle and Joe were sitting with a stranger, a man I'd never seen before. One of his eyes was half closed, and he wore a big hat which covered most of his head. He suddenly looked interested when I arrived, and rubbed his leg in a rather strange way. He had just ordered hot rum for the three of them. "It's lonely country round here, gentlemen," he said. "Yes," said Joe. "Just marshes down to the river." "Do people ever spend the night on the marshes?" "No," replied Joe, "except an escaped prisoner sometimes. Difficult to find, they are. Went out to look for one once, me and Mr. Wopsle and young Pip here. Didn't we, Pip?" "Yes, Joe." The stranger looked at me with his good eye. "What's his name? Pip? Your son, is he?" "The boy is the blacksmith's wife's brother," explained Mr. Wopsle, in his official church clerk's voice. When the drinks arrived, the stranger did something that he wanted nobody to see except me. He mixed his hot rum and water, not with a spoon, but with a file, which he put back in his pocket when he had finished. As soon as I saw the file, I knew it was the one I had stolen from Joe, and I knew that this man knew my convict. I stared at him in horror. The men continued their conversation in a friendly way, until Joe stood up to leave and took my hand. "Wait a moment," said the stranger. "I'd like to give the boy something." And wrapping a coin in some old paper from his pocket, handed it to me. "That's yours," he told me, giving me a look full of meaning. "Thank you, sir," I said, still staring at him. Together, Joe and I walked home, Joe with his mouth open all the way, so that my sister would not notice the smell of rum on his breath. But when we arrived home, we found the stranger had given me £2 notes as well as the coin. My sister thought it must have been a mistake, and kept the £1 notes in case he came back for them. But I knew they came from my convict, and I felt that having criminal friends made me more common than ever.